Arrowhead just revealed the new Python Commando Warbond getting added to Helldivers 2 on December 2nd, and I gotta say, I am absolutely hyped for this new Warbond. This one might actually be shaping up to be one of my all-time favorites. The armor looks-wise, while I'm not the biggest fan of Commando-style armored, and kinda have myself set up when it comes to looks for my Helldiver, I am a huge fan of the heavy armor's helmet, and I gotta say, it gives me strong Colonial Marine vibes. Yet the armor has an interesting perk on top of that. Now, the Sony blog post did have a mess up here. The perk Rock Solid basically gives 100% melee damage, and getting ragdoll is gonna be harder. Now, how much harder is it gonna be to get ragdolled? I don't know. They didn't really give a percentage. So I just wonder, basically when it comes to the melee aspect with the new chainsaw sword, will I be able to one-shot an Overseer with the perk Rock Solid? Which, let me add, I swear, for all my 40k fans, you now can be full-on Helldiver Space Marine cosplay with a Jar 5 Dominator, Loyalist, and now a damn support Chainsaw Greatsword. Arrowhead said it's gonna start at AP3, and then I guess as the more you cut into something, it will slowly rev up to AP4, which is Heavy Penetration. Which I honestly I find it a fun and unique way of representing a slow cut through of a target, as it gets easier and easier for you to grind through something with a chainsaw the more you cut through it. Basically, usually chainswords just kind of feel like a normal sword, but it's a chainsaw, but look a little just tiny different. So I appreciate the effort of trying to have it, you know, be something with a unique kind of aspect to it. I just really need to get my hands on the stratagem to see if it is actually any good or fun to use, which can be applied to many things, such as finally, boys, we have a minigun. It looks like those engine limitations that had made it really hard for Arrowhead to tie a backpack ammo reserve to a gun seems to have been solved, giving us the Maxigun 1000, which I assume is gonna be 1,000 rounds of ammo, or definitely 1,000 rounds per minute. I just really hope the ammo reserve is 1,000 plus. I really don't want to have 750 ammo reserve. While it was confirmed to be able to be resupplied or by a supply pack or a resupply station, I just really feel anything less than 1,000 rounds of ammunition is going to be a hard miss. We do know it's going to be AP3 and you will have to remain stationary while shooting it. So this really tells me that if you bring the Maxigun, you are basically going to be the Gatling Sentry. You have assumed the role of ultimate chaff to large enemies cleared. So that basically means from stuff as low as scavengers all the way to an alpha brood commander. I know some people wanted it to be AP4, and while that does sound cool, I think the intent of this gun isn't to be something that rivals an HMG or AMR and stuff in the AP4 support range, but to be another additional chaff support, but be a different flavor. So something like a Stalwart or MG43, which I don't mind personally. However, just like the chainsaw, I will have to actually get my hands on these stratagems in order to actually say if I like the execution of the idea or not, because you can make anything sound good or bad on paper. Arrowhead has to be stealth watching my streams, however, because anyone who has been watching knows that I and my chat have been begging for a guard dog with a flamethrower, and that it should not be called Dragon's Breath or Incendiary Dog, but should be called the Hot Dog. And I'm so happy to see this in the game. And honestly, this might be my new main backpack slot on bugs. I've seen some complaints about team killing, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as the K9. And on top of that, people with the K9 and now the Hot Dog should probably, as always, just be careful of positioning as best they can. Now, the flamethrower will have the same stats as the torture. I mean, it's literally the torture mounted on a guard dog, so not surprised. I wonder if its behavior, however, is going to be to keep targeting the same enemy until it dies, or once an enemy has taken the status effect of being on fire and the flame dot is ticking, move on to a different target, kind of like how the sterilizer acts. The AR really has me excited for my bug dives because I've been asking for an M203 grenade launcher attachment for a long time. This AR, while I don't know if it's gonna be using it, I'm gonna be really using it outside of bug dives for the first few weeks of the Warbond release. Since I rarely need a grenade launcher on the bots or squids, the added utility of 4 grenades of any underbarrel attachment is awesome. I love my G6 frags, so having 10 nades in total, basically for bug holes and those rare moments you need AoE to be would be so nice. I saw that stats-wise, it's going to be basically a light pen adjudicator, so like everything in this Warbond, I won't know how much to field that until, until I get my hands on it, because that sounds great on paper, but I don't know what that really means. Does that mean that this gun has low ergonomics compared to the adjudicator? Does that mean that it has a small mag size compared to the adjudicator? It can't mean that it has the same damage, because the adjudicator, well, I guess it does have the same damage because it does a 95 like the adjudicator does. And is that it? Is that the only thing that we're saying? So I have to actually see what we're dealing with. If so, I hope we can put, if it does have a small mag, I hope we can put extended mags or even a drum mag on that AR, because to me, light pen weapons should usually, keyword usually, have more ammo than AP3 ARs. So I just gotta see what it ends up feeling like. Besides that, we have camo patterns. The capes just look like Viper Commando capes with different insignias, which, like I said, if you like Viper Commandos, you're gonna love all the cosmetics. I'm not the hugest fan, so I probably won't be switching off the stuff I got on now. I will say, when it comes to the push-up emote, I personally am praying this emote has an Easter egg like the lock-stepped emote does, where we have a small chance to have your Helldiver do a push-up, but instead of using their arms, they are pushing up with the very power of managed democracy. Like this video here. As well as in the banner of the Warbond, we can actually see Illuminate in the jungle biome with the Illuminate ruins, which kind of hints that on the 2nd, we will probably get a squid content release. These give off the vibe of that one episode from Halo Legends when the ODSTs are trekking through the old Forerunner ruins to assassinate the Prophet. And real quick tidbit, why the fuck were the Forerunner ruins just old stone Japanese castles? Like, am I the only one who finds that weird when you rewatch that episode? I digress, but that's the vibe I get from this art. But it plays into that MO chain of us defending, or at least failing to defend, the planets that had ancient squid ruins that were giving off strange gravitational readings. So it looks like we'll be exploring more into that plot line. However, that does hopefully mean squids will be getting some more units to fill out the roster and desperately needed new missions. I am excited, I am hopeful. I just really need us with the 2nd of December to be firing on all cylinders and have no major hiccups. And with that, we wait for December 2nd. I will make sure to do a Warbond review when it drops, and I think I want to do a funny edit video since I haven't done one of those in a long time. Besides that, thank you all for your time. Please tell me down below what your thoughts are on the Python Commandos. Do you love it? Do you hate it? If you're looking for fellow Helldivers to spread managed democracy with, join the 2nd Liberation Battalion, where we have special events, challenges, and consistent dispatches to help Helldivers stay up to date on the war. With that, I'll see you next time. Please be safe and don't drown.